So your little bundle of joy has hit the 6-month mark, huh? Congratulations. At this age, your baby is probably hitting some major milestones, sitting up, babbling, and maybe even trying some solid foods. But what about their sleep? Are those nighttime wake-ups still a struggle? Don't worry, you're not alone. Today, we're going to talk about everything you need to know to sleep train your 6-month-old. Is 6 months a good time to start sleep training? Well, the short answer is yes. Most babies are developmentally ready for sleep training around this age. Their circadian rhythms are becoming more established, and they're less likely to need nighttime feedings. Plus, they're out of the 4th trimester, so they're not as reliant on constant rocking and swaddling for sleep. Can you sleep train a 6-month-old? Absolutely. You can definitely sleep train your 6-month-old. But before you dive in, it's important to have realistic expectations. Every baby is different, and what works for one may not work for another. Your baby's version of sleeping through the night might look a little different from yours, and that's okay. How often do 6-month-olds wake at night? Now, you might be wondering how often 6-month-olds wake at night. Well, it varies from baby to baby, but research shows that many 6-month-olds still aren't sleeping for long stretches at night. In fact, up to 38% of them aren't sleeping for 6 consecutive hours, and 57% aren't hitting 8 hours of sleep. How long does it take to sleep train a 6-month-old? Well, that depends on a few factors. Most sleep training methods take about a week or so to see results. But it's not an exact science, and it might take longer depending on the method you choose, your consistency, and your baby's temperament. If you're not seeing progress after a couple of weeks, it's okay to take a step back and reassess. Sleep training methods. All right, let's talk about some sleep training methods for your 6-month-old. There are several approaches you can try, so let's break them down. The wake and sleep method. One gentle approach is the wake and sleep method. This technique involves gently waking your baby before they fully fall asleep and allowing them to soothe themselves back to sleep. It might sound counterintuitive, but it can be effective in teaching your baby to self-soothe. Here's how to use the wake and sleep method. Step 1. Turn on white noise to create a calming environment. Step 2. Feed and burp your baby. Step 3. Allow your baby to fall asleep in your arms. Step 4. Gently rouse your baby by tickling them lightly. Step 5. Encourage your baby to fall back asleep on their own. Of course, the wake and sleep method isn't the only option. Let's take a look at a few other sleep training techniques you can try. Pick up, put down. This method involves comforting your baby when they cry, but gradually reducing your intervention over time. The chair. With this method, you sit next to your baby's crib until they fall asleep, gradually moving further away each night. Ferber method. Also known as graduated extinction, this method involves checking on your baby at intervals to gradually teach them to self-soothe. Cry it out. This method involves letting your baby cry without intervention, gradually teaching them to self-soothe. Now let's address some common challenges you might encounter while sleep training your 6-month-old. Common sleep training challenges. Inconsistent bedtime routines. Establishing a predictable bedtime routine can help your baby learn to self-soothe. Nighttime feedings. By 6 months, most babies don't need nighttime feedings, but it can be a hard habit to break. Dependency on being held to fall asleep. If your baby relies on being held to fall asleep, it can make sleep training more difficult. Transition to bedtime tips. All right, let's wrap up with some bedtime tips to help your 6-month-old get the best sleep possible. Establish a calming bedtime routine with dim lights and soothing activities. Use white noise to create a sleep-friendly environment. Offer a pacifier to help soothe your baby. Be consistent with your bedtime routine to help your baby learn positive sleep habits. And there you have it. Everything you need to know to sleep train your 6-month-old. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.